Good evening. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived Cameroon to discuss ways of effectively tackling the Boko Haram insurgency with Cameroon President Paul Biya. President Buhari began the two-day visit on Wednesday in a bid to soothe fractious ties between the West African neighbors and strengthen cooperation against the Islamic militant group. Buhari's visit to Cameroon since his election in March comes as Boko Haram launched a fresh wave of attacks which has led to the deaths of hundreds in Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad and Niger. All four countries have collaborated to wage an intense offensive against Boko Haram. Multinational troops fighting Boko Haram in West Africa will now be able to pursue the militants across borders. This is according to Nigeria's presidential spokesperson, Garba, who said this as a result of the trust reached between contributing troops since the election of President Muhammadu Buhari in May. His comments come as President Buhari paid a visit to Cameroon, a boosted force with about 8,700 troops from Cameroon, Chad, Niger and Nigeria is to become fully operational next month. With the help of troops from Chad and Niger, earlier this year the Nigerian military has managed to retake most areas taken over by militants in northeast Nigeria. The Nigerian service chiefs appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari are set to be sworn in and screened by the Senate. The screening and confirmation process had been scheduled for July 30th. However, it has now been moved till Tuesday, August 4th. Senate President Bukola Saraki had announced on Wednesday that the newly appointed service chiefs would be screened during plenary at the National Assembly in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. The service chiefs to be screened include Major General Abayomi Olonishakin, Chief of Defense Staff, General T.Y. Borotai, Chief of Army Staff, Rear Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, Chief of Naval Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, Chief of Air Staff. The Nigerian Army says it is responsible for the sporadic shooting which was witnessed in Damaturu on Tuesday, the Yobe state capital. Some residents in the city reported rapid firings in the northeast regions at about 7:30 p.m. till an hour later. The acting director of Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Usman, claimed that the Nigerian Army was responsible for the frequent firing witnessed by residents across the town. The incident had brought fear to the minds of the residents struggling to cope with frequent attacks on the town by Boko Haram militants. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned some states in Nigeria who have failed to pay the monthly salaries of teachers in the state. Buhari on Tuesday criticized the current situation in which teachers go without being paid their salaries for many months in some states of the Federation. Speaking in Abuja, Buhari urged the three tiers of government to be more mindful of their responsibility to pay teachers their salaries on time, as this could delay students in the state's good education. The federal government has cancelled the new admission policy adopted by the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB. The presidency's decision was announced by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Mark John Nwaubiala, after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. JAMB had implemented a policy with which it will redistribute candidates who scored above 180 but whose scores are less than cut-off marks of their first choice universities to other universities with lower numbers of candidates. The national cut-off marks approved by JAMB is 180 for universities and 150 for polytechnics and colleges of education. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at more news stories. Don't go anywhere.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on TV360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News now. To business stories. The Central Bank of Nigeria Wednesday said it plans to sell 195.17 billion naira worth of 3-month, 6-month and 1-year treasury bills on August 5th. CBN in a statement said it would sell 45.17 billion naira worth of the 3-month paper, 30 billion naira of the 6-month bill and 120 billion naira in the 1-year debt next week using the Dutch auction system. The results of the auction will be published the following day, which is approximately the 6th of August. Oil prices fell for a 6th day on Wednesday, marking their longest string of losses in a year. This comes as worsening global oversupply offsets the potential lift from a weaker dollar and an expected drop in U.S. crude stocks. Brent was down 72 cents at $52.75 a barrel, while U.S. crude was down 33 cents at $47.6 a barrel. Brent crude is on track for its longest stretch of daily losses since March this year. Taliban leader Mullah Omar has died 2 years ago. This is according to a spokesperson for Afghanistan's security services. Abdul Hasib Siddiqui said Mullah Omar had died of health problems at a hospital in Pakistan. The latest reports of Mullah Omar's death are being taken more seriously than previous reports. This is because the Taliban is expected to issue a statement soon. Mullah Omar has not been seen in public since the fall of the Taliban regime in late 2001. He has been hiding with a $10 million U.S. state bounty on his head. To sports now, the Nigerian Football Federation has confirmed receiving a letter written by former coach Stephen Keshi demanding a 1 billion naira compensation from the body. NFF President Amaju Pinnick said the federation was not concerned by Keshi's lawsuit as he had violated the terms of his contract. Keshi is asking for a 1.2 billion naira compensation from the NFF for alleged defamation. He has since been replaced by Sunday Olise. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has said it seeks to form close ties with current world champions Germany in their bid to develop Nigerian football. Top officials of the NFF, led by President Amaju Pinnick, disclosed the body's plan in a meeting with the ambassador of Germany to Nigeria, Dietmar Krusell. Pinnick praised Germany as an economic power in football and reiterated Nigeria's desire to form a close tie with the German Football Federation in a bid to develop Nigerian football. Nigeria, once the powerhouse of African football, has endured a few tough years in international competition. UEFA President Michel Platini has announced that he will stand as a candidate for the president of FIFA during next year's election. Platini says FIFA needs to turn over a new leaf after being dodged by corruption allegations. The 60-year-old has been backed by 5 confederations including Europe, Asia, South America, plus North and Central America, and also the Caribbean. Platini has, however, been criticized by 2 potential FIFA presidential rivals. Prince Ali bin Al Hussein and Musa Bility claimed that Platini would be a best choice as a successor for the world governing body. We've come to the end of news and we thank you very much for joining us. I am Thelma Okoro.